Reynolds v. Sims was a crucial case concerning racial gerrymandering. The state of Alabama requires reapportionment after every 10 years. However, the plaintiffs alleged that no such reapportionment had gone on for 60 years. Under the lapse, it was found only 1/4 of the population was being represented. The case was decided in 1964 by Chief Justice Earl Warren. Reynolds, a respondent, and Sims, a petitioner, went to court in 1962 to fight in the Alabama district courts. The Alabama court, in attempts to reconcile, developed a new reapportionment plan. However, the United States appealed, stating the court did not have that kind of authority, and the case was pushed into the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court then ruled to create a new apportionment plan. The majority opinion was written by Chief Justice Warren and joined by Justices Black, Douglas, Brennan, White, and Goldberg. Concurring opinions were written by both Justices Clark and Stewart. The only dissenting opinion came from Justice Harlan. This case affected state laws across the country, forcing them to change the system of reapportionment. Constitutional amendments were also proposed but never passed. The final verdict of one man, one vote continues on because legislators represent people, not trees or acres. The next case is Baker v. Carr, Baker being the petitioner and Carr being the respondent. This case has taken place on March 26, 1964, and it was a win for the Liberals. The case started in the Federal District Court in Tennessee. The majority opinion was written by Justice William Brennan. Black and Warren later joined the opinion. Justice Harlan wrote one opinion, Justice Clark the other. Justices William O. Douglas, Tom Clark, and Potter Stewart each agreed with the majority opinion but wrote separate papers. Baker v. Carr made it so when the Supreme Court decided for the first time that apportionment or congressional districting was no longer simply a political question but could be remediated in a court of law. This became known as the one-man, one-vote rule. It made it so that every citizen's vote will carry equal weight regardless of the voter's place of residence. The next case is Shaw v. Reno, and it was a racial gerrymandering case, just like the others. Jeanette Reno was the respondent, and the petitioner was Ruth Shaw. In the fall of 1991, a reapportionment plan was submitted for the state of North Carolina that only included one black minority district. This plan was subsequently rejected by the U.S. Attorney General due to the lack of minority voting representation. In order to remedy this, a revised plan was submitted that included a second majority-minority district of an unusual shape. The state's revised plan contained a second majority black district in the North Carolina Central region. The new district stretches approximately 160 miles along Interstate 85. It started at Eastern District Court of NC to U.S. Supreme Court and was reversed and remanded back to the Appellate Court of NC. The majority opinion written by Justice O'Connor was racial gerrymander should be closely scrutinized so as to avoid typical ideas about preferences of the same race. The dissenting opinion written by Byron White, joined with Justices Blackmun and Stevens, was that the appellates were not able to show that they were deprived of a right to vote, nor able to show their political strength diminishing. The decision of the lower court was that the residents did not prove an unconstitutional equal protection claim. This was appealed and was tried at the U.S. Supreme Court, which was remanded and reversed due to the appellants were not able to show that their rights were deprived of their right to vote. Black. The end.